Hello, everyone. So, list number 4 or 5 of this year, I was able to watch all the TV shows I'm going to be able to watch this year. So, in total, I watched 44 seasons of TV. So, of course, this isn't definitive. I haven't watched every single season of TV that's come out this year. I wish I had the time. So, of course, if you don't see anything on this list that you really liked, please let me know in the comments what it was, and I can either explain why it's not on my list or, again, too, if I didn't watch it. And eventually, I really hope I have the time to watch all the recommendations that you give. So again, too, I do my TV show reviews probably a little bit differently than most people. Basically, what I do is I only count shows that are seasons that ended this year. So, say for example, Skeleton Crew on Disney Plus right now, the new Star Wars show, that's still currently airing. It's not gonna have its finale until 2025, so it's not gonna be on this list. If a show started in 2023 but had its finale in 2024, it's gonna be on the list this year. So I don't think I have any that fall into that category, but just so you're aware of how this list works. So again, so it's not definitive. I haven't watched everything. I would love to be able to watch everything, but out of the 44 seasons of TV that I watched this year, these are my favorites. So first I'm gonna start off with some honorable mentions, and that is the Fallout show, Vox Machina Season 3, and Invincible Season 2. So again, so all of these I thought were great, just narrowly missed out on the top 10. Fallout, again, too, was an amazing adaptation of the video game series, and it had a lot of life, a lot of character. It had that quirkiness, that kind of quirky Bethesda humor that I really, really liked. I'm glad that they were able to translate that over to the screen in a lot of ways, and again, to still have that in character, not take away from the dark atmosphere that the show, especially near the end of the series, really started to get into. So I really like that. Vox Machina Season 3, again, too, all the characters are just absolutely awesome, and really, really, again, to just love the gang of people that they have. It's hilarious. The animation's so slick. The fights are great. The stakes are amazing. It's just a very, very good show and a very, very good third season for it. And Invincible Season 2 had some amazing character work, some amazing battles, a little bit slower than I think a lot of people might have been expecting, kind of within, especially after like the mid-season break. Um, so I feel like, again, too, that's maybe what's hindered it a little bit in terms of my rating for it. But again, too, when things did go down, the show really went hard in everything that I was doing, and I'm very excited for season 3 when that starts here pretty soon. So yes, without further ado, let me get into my top 10. So at number 10, I have Baby Reindeer. So this one kind of took a lot of people by storm. I heard about the hype of it. I watched it, and yeah, it gets very heavy and very deep, and it's a very personal and meaningful story that, again, too, I thought was very vulnerable and just very deserving to be told. And again, too, just shows a lot of strength and overcoming that situation. Personal things that, of course, the writer and the main character had to go through. And yeah, even though it's very heavy, it's just outstanding. It's very, very well done, and the acting's fantastic. At number 9, I have True Detective Night Country. So this is easily my favorite season since season 1. I thought the character work was really, really good. I thought the setting was great. The culture they brought in was great. I'm glad that they were able to tie things into the first season again and kind of make this series feel a little bit more connected. I thought that was great, and I wonder if they're going to do that again too going forward and trying to solve this again too, this big cult mystery that the first season started. As they've shown, it's still out there and there's still half a presence. So yeah, I thought it was very interesting, very well done. And yeah, even though it's the last we're going to see of these characters, I am excited for kind of the future of True Detective if it's going to stay on this level of quality. At number 8, I have Ripley. So, of course, this is an adaptation of the, again, too, the talented Mr. Ripley. I thought it was fantastic. It was really, really well done. More, do I like it more than the movie? I'm not sure yet, but again, too, it was very fantastically done. The performances were undeniably amazing and incredible. And yeah, I found the pacing was great. I love the style of it. Of course, being filmed in the black and white, I thought was very unique and something very, very cool. Yeah, it was just a great classic tale that I think they adapted absolutely perfectly and added, again, to a lot more depth to the characters and to the situation that you can't fit into like a 2.5 hour long movie. So just lots of things that I really, really enjoyed about it. It's a fantastic series. At number 7, I have House of the Dragon season 2. So this was a massive step up in terms of storytelling and quality than the first season. Again, too, the first season jumped around the timeline a lot. There was a lot of major gaps in between seasons, and a lot of times it just felt hollow a lot of the times, and it just felt like things were missing where I didn't feel that whatsoever within this season. The characters really got the chance to grow. Daemon Targaryen's arc was a little bit slower than I think most people would have liked, but again, too, they're really building up to something special. It's been pretty true to the books, and again, too, I'm glad that they're able to play around with the source material a little bit since it was written like a textbook. They can add little things in or change again to the history of what actually happens, which I think is absolutely fascinating. And yeah, again, so just great performances, a major step up, and I'm very excited for season 3 and 4 of this when they come out. At number 6, I have Only Murders in the Building season 4. So this it's really hard for me to say if it's my favorite season, but it's easily been my favorite since the first. It's like I said, the mystery was really, really good. I found it was one of the harder ones to predict, in all honesty, which was great. Yeah, the story was absolutely fantastic. It's hilarious. Again, too, since we've been with the characters for 4 seasons now, they're really starting to open up and be a lot more emotional, a lot more personal now, which is a lot more interesting. And I find the writing and the quality and the acting just keeps getting better and better and better. The celebrity cameos that they have, they did a really good way to work them in and not just kind of shoehorn cameos and actually have them be working characters, which I thought was absolutely fascinating. That again, too, they can add in all these new people and just really add a lot more value to the show and to the series. So I'm very excited to see how season 5 goes. It ended off on a pretty like hard note for a lot of the characters. So to have that emotion already carry over pretty largely into season 5, I think is going to be incredible. So yes, very good series, very good season. At number 5, I have season 2 and the final season of Arcane. So yeah, lots of Netflix shows that I have on here this year. But yeah, this one was, I can't say, the animation style is so good. I love the music that they kick in here. The action sequences are amazing, and the storytelling is just damn near it's so good. It's damn near perfect. Really, like, the only gripes that I had with it is I felt the last episode, the ending of this was a little bit rushed, and I felt like, again, to the stakes and the battle was gonna be a little bit larger in scale. I think it definitely could have been in a lot of ways, but again, to they were just so sucked into the stakes and the just again to the emotional drama that they're able to create. It's really, really well done, and again to just an absolutely fantastic season of it. And I know this was the final season of Arcane, but to see more of these League of Legends stories told and in this way, I think is going to be really great and incredible. So I hope that they do that going forward, because yeah, it's this show is easily probably, if not the best, one of the best video game adaptations ever. So yes, I would love to see more of it. At number 4, I have the Penguin. So, of course, this is a follow up to the Batman 2022. And yeah, the void of, again, to getting the Batman and the Batman 2 just got even longer. It's now delayed till 2027. So this was definitely a good way to kind of get back into that world. And yeah, I love the Gotham City within it. And I'm glad that we got to see kind of a little bit more of the criminal underworld and, of course, the politics of this Gotham. And I just find it fascinating and so well crafted. They really understand the world and the characters. Yeah, and for like my best movies of 2022, the Batman was number 1, and yeah, this is just again to have this kind of quality and acting and character development in a TV show to add on to the movie, I thought was absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's everything about this I basically loved. It was really, really well paced, really, really well done. As a lot of people have praised it for, and I will as well. I'm very glad that they were able to give us a show about a villain and have him stay a villain, not make him an anti-hero or anything like that, or show that, oh yeah, he's actually a good guy with a good heart. They prove that he is a villain tried and true, and I'm very glad they did that, and they did it in a very interesting way. So yeah, it's very, very good. Definitely watch it. At number 3, I have X-Men 97. I loved every single second of this show from, again, to the animation style, to the classic music, and the classic voice acting that they had too, but the storylines that they did were I'm so glad that they touched on it. Seeing Mojo made me laugh a lot, but again, too, they realized that they can really blend again to that goofy 90s style and really bring it to a more modern day audience, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. Of course, I love the X-Men series from the 90s, so being able to get back into that world was great. I found they continued it in a very interesting way, and again, too, the stakes around everything were great. The loss that a lot of the characters suffered was, again, too heavy, so it just made for great storytelling, and yeah, just the ways that they were able to tell these character stories and push things forward was really, really good. There's a lot more room for them to do a lot more, which they are going to. So again, too, it was a very good revisit to these characters and a very good setup for a lot more to come. So please watch X-Men 97 if you haven't already. It's incredible. At number 2, I just finished watching this last night, Squid Game season 2. Yeah, this was a very intense season, and I really loved what they were able to do with this show again to just continue the story. It really makes you root for the main characters. It's a very intense. It's very easy to get very invested, as I did with into this season. Yeah, I loved everything that they did with the season. I thought it ended off on again to an absolutely grueling note that I'm very excited to see how season 3 goes. You know, it's almost going to be torturous for the characters, and yeah, they show that they can do the games, make the games very intense, but they can also do again to everything outside the islands they can make absolutely intense within again to their families lives and the people just trying to stop these games from happening. And it just showed really how big this organization is too, and yeah, I really liked it. There's some similarities that I found they did in a lot better ways from the first season, which was absolutely great and stunning. But yeah, no, the characters fantastically written and the show is really well written. The only thing that's again too I kind of have gripes with this season is how people can keep sneaking items into the games, or again too like how certain people will get things taken away from them, but these people can bring things in. I hope that they explain a little bit more about how these either checks get missed or what exceptions they make to make the games a little more interesting. So yeah, I'm excited for season 3 a lot, but this was an amazing show. Then I think this season really established itself as being one of the best TV shows on right now. And at number 1, I have Shogun. So this was, I believe, like the first full series that I watched this year, and it's stayed the entirety of the way. It was, yeah, it was incredible. It was, yeah, just absolutely incredible. Again, too, the characters, the worlds. A lot of people are gripes about the ending. I thought it was perfect for the message that the rest of the show was telling the audience about war, about loss, about grief. It's again, too, it was just absolutely incredible. And they have announced that they are going to be doing, at the very least, season 2. There, it might be season 3 if I'm not mistaken as well. But they are going to be making more of this. But even if this were just to be a standalone like mini series, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And yeah, I really want to get back into it and watch it. But again, too, just the world that they were able to craft, and especially based off of the book, just what they're able to add onto it and just the more depth and layers, it made for an incredible season of TV, and it's easily my favorites, like by a long shot. It was very good, and it stuck with me the entirety of the year. So yes, those are my most favorite TV shows, seasons of TV that I watched this year. So of course, please let me know what you thought of the list down below, and again too, let me know what your lists were as well. I would love to again to get into more shows. I know I missed a lot. That usually is the case with TV, but yes, let me know again too your top 10 or just your favorite shows of the year in the comments down below. Of course, if you like what you see here, definitely give a thumbs up and subscribe. Turn that little ringer on if you like what you see here, of course, too. And yeah, I have one more list coming. It is my top movies of 2024. I just have 2 more that I want to watch before I make that list. And yeah, once I have again to watch those movies, made that list, I will upload it. So yeah, make sure you have that little ringer on for that. And thank you for tuning in.